We're going to start one. Hi, everyone. This is Ben Blanquer of Techlife Columbus, and we got a new thing. We are going to be talking about some cool new tech, and in upcoming months, we'll be sharing cool new tech that is coming up in Columbus. So our first guest today is Steve Greeter. He is Market Director of Expedient. Welcome, Steve.
Hey there, Ben. How are you doing, my friend?
Good, good. How are you?
It's another beautiful day here in Central Ohio.
There you go. There you go. So let's get right to it, Steve. So what cool new tech can you share with us today in our inaugural show?
Okay, well, hey, first off, Ben, thanks a lot for having me as the first guest on the Cool New Tech Show. I think it's a great way to spotlight technology here in Central Ohio. So Expedient has some cool new tech, go figure. We've always been much more of a solution provider than a product shop, but sometimes you have a cool new product. So that's what we're talking about today. So I'm not on the product development team by any means. We have smart people on that team, but our product development team's got a lot of smart people, and we listen to what the industry's saying, and you look to introduce solutions that help prospects and clients, but we have to be cognizant. We have to swim in our swim lane, make sure we're doing things that fit what we do.
Okay.
Due to the massive move to all the various cloud providers, the hyperscalers like Amazon and Azure and Google, people like us, our competitors and such, there's been a lot of chatter about how the costs for cloud is starting to get a little out of control. So we rolled out a tool. It's continuous cost optimization. It's called cost control. And the cool people in marketing did like the CTRL control because, it's cooler that way. And the idea is to address issues of overspending and lack of transparency that, are a part of so many of the cloud solutions.
Wow. So we got a fancy name called cost control, right? Control, that should be blindly obvious what it does. So can you unpeel this underneath the covers a little bit and say, what exactly does this cost control and all this increased transparency
Other than the cool name, what's it do? Sure. So the idea is to identify all the cloud spend an organization has. You want to give the user the ability to get their costs under control. So the first thing the tool does is that it identifies all the cloud machines, all the cloud instances in their entire environment. Amazon, Azure, in-house, Google, Expedient, whatever, right? And then, this is where the first cool part is does an analysis of a right size for all of the instances and all the virtual machines in a given environment based on the utilization. Now, the user can go ahead and either have this done in real time, or they can go ahead and schedule reports and learn where the cost savings is at. So, for instance, you might see a machine. It's Amazon instance number 11 in your environment, and it pops up on your screen and cost control will say, now, if you reduce the RAM on this one, and we think you should, you can save yourself $80.16 per month. So that's pretty cool. So you go ahead and do the recommendation. But here's the other part, is that you can do the recommendation or not do the recommendation, but there's an audit log that follows you. So realistically, if your team, your management, and you're looking at your team's spending on cloud, and the user accepts or declines the recommendation, that says something right there. That's you can keep an eye out on them. So it can be done on all existing workloads, and then when you spin up a new machine, as you spin it up and you size it with a CPU and the RAM and the disk that you need, it will show you what the cost will be based on the cloud that you're going to launch it in. So it'll go ahead and say, well, if you launch this at AWS, it's X. If you launch it in Azure, it's Y. If you launch it in Expedient, it's Z. If you launch it in-house, it's some other letter in the alphabet. So it helps you make cost-effective choices. And so now the user can know all their options and do a better job of budgeting.
Wow. So that is real time live. If I'm spinning up an environment and I say I wanted to do it in X, it'll tell me you can do it in X, but if you do it in Y and it's configured appropriately, it'll cost you, X, less money. It does that.
It'll tell you what the costs are across a variety of clouds. You go
Cost
ahead
of,
and when you set up the tool, maybe you only want to see Amazon versus Azure. Okay, sure. Set up the tool, boom, boom, and then it goes ahead and it spits out, well, this is what it costs in A and this is what it costs in B.
and the tool automatically understands the cost basis of all the different clouds and keeps up with different pricing models and all that.
Absolutely.
Wow, that's pretty amazing, because I know companies are like whole departments that try to keep track of, how much is this going to cost me. So that's pretty cool. What else does it do?
It's cool that you say departments. So I didn't even get to the coolest part. So please, sorry about that. So you can track your spending at a cloud level, department level, application, or per user. So you can see I'm spending X dollars at AWS, or I'm spending Y dollars at Expedient, or whatever it might be. And then you can go ahead and set budgets at any of those levels. So you can see exactly how much an application is costing you running it in the cloud. You can see, and we've all heard of this horror story, that the developer, and for the developers watching this video, I'm not picking on you, it just happens, you guys know it. The developer spins up some environments on a Friday afternoon, and then it's time for happy hour, so takes off and forgets to turn the environments off. And with the hyperscale clouds, the meter's running.
It doesn't turn off.
Right, and all of a sudden you get the bill at the end of the month and say, well, why is it so much different? Why is it so much higher than last month? Well, this is a reason. So now you can identify the user and have that friendly discussion with them that don't forget to turn the machines off. But just in case you do, we're putting a budget on you. And if you exceed this budget, you're going to need management approval to get back in the cloud.
Wow.
So we know that that this is going to be appealing for a lot of shops. And then one other aspect of this, because you can identify per user and per department and per application and such, when you see stuff that's not authorized and you can't track it to a user, you've got a shadow IT issue and somebody's using your budget and should be doing it.
Wow. This sounds like the CFO's sort of like nirvana associated with cloud cost control kind of management. I mean, that's pretty amazing. So outside of the CFO saying, of course we're going to use this thing, who are the users of this thing in the enterprise?
Well, generally it's going to be the CIO level or the IT director level, somebody who's in charge of the budget. The situation there is no one wants to be told they're doing something wrong or doing something bad. But the people that are in charge of the budgets want to know those things. The fact of the matter is that if they're not optimizing their costs, they'd like to know why. If they think that they can be doing something better, they'd like to know why and know how. Caught some stats that 96% of all CIOs think that they would do better by optimizing costs in the cloud, and 78% of CIOs know they're paying too much. So again, this is pretty interesting for most shops. You don't have to be an Expedient client. You just can order it and then take it from there.
So this is a new product that you all have developed. You're rolling out. It helps helps you. It's all about cost control. Gives you real-time sort of options associated with your configurations and what's going on. Sets budgets and alarms and things by department, so you can watch it and control it. How do people find out about this thing? And of course they're going to want to do this, right? Who doesn't want to do cost control?
It's really cool because my friend Ben made this really nice screen for me that has my name and my email and my cell phone number on that. So basically, you would just go ahead and do that, or hit me on LinkedIn, whatever, and just say, hey, so I was watching that video with you and Ben, and I'd like to learn about cost control. And then, of course, I get you lined up with the people who can explain it even better than I can.
So they call you Steve, and all you need to say is cost control, and you can hook them up with the right people, and they can implement this product and have this level of sort of like cost management. How cool is that?
And there you go. So,
well, this
and
is fabulous, Steve. This,
thanks, Ben, and thanks for giving me the opportunity to get up on the platform and say a couple words about it. You know what I think is going to be really cool
what's that?
is when we come up for CIO tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
you can use your new cool new tech platform to really spotlight all the innovation that's going to be going on. I know you're running the Innovation Expo there. So all these companies in Central Ohio with cool new tech, we can go ahead and promote them, right?
Absolutely. That's what we do.
CIO tomorrow, and then everyone can come to the event in late August and see it.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yes, August 31st, everyone. Join us at CIO tomorrow. So with that, Steve, thanks, God. Thanks for being our first guest. You were fabulous. I can't wait for people to hear about this cool new tech. And I hope your phone rings because my guess is it's going to. So with that.
Well, that would be great if it did. Ben, thanks again. Appreciate it. And thanks for having me on the show.
All right. Take care, everyone.
Take care.